Zach Wilson. This is another guy that may or may not be available for the 49ers. I think he's having such a good year, and I think he plays. Did he play this week? Did he play tonight? He plays this week. Anyway, he's having such a good year that the Niners would probably have to trade up to get him. Do you like him? Is he can't miss? And would you trade up for him if it were 5 spots?
Yeah, so I would.
Okay.
I really like him. My thing is I'm very it's when I look at quarterbacks and stuff, just because it's so hard to do and stuff, I just like guys who can throw. And he can throw. He can throw off any platform. He's got all the arm angles. He's got a skill set where you look at if a coach can really sit with him and get his fundamentals and get his decision-making process and all those things like Kyle Shanahan would be able to do, then you can have a superstar because he's got he's got everything that everybody looks for, right? There's a reason people have stuck by Sam Darnold all these years. It's because he's got the ability to make funny body throws. That's what Zach Wilson can do. Everybody's obsessed with the off-platform, different arm angles, guy around me, throw those kinds, flick it off my wrist, 25 yards on an out, far hash throws. He's got it all. He in a sense, he kind of reminds me of a lesser Deshaun Watson. Agreed. So Deshaun Watson, he's got the same throwing ability to me.
Like Deshaun Watson, wheels like that, yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's a little less. He has a little less feel in the pocket as a scrambler, and I don't know if he's as smart as Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson is brilliant. I don't know if he's that smart, but I do see a little bit.
But he had a lot of reps in college. He played a lot of football in college. Yep.
Right. And Deshaun Watson, the one thing that was translatable with Deshaun Watson is that he never lost his poise. That's the one thing. His poise is unreal.
Played in huge games, the biggest game possibly played.
Right. And he never lost his poise. The moment was never too big with him. With Zach Wilson, being a BYU guy, smaller school guy and stuff, like Josh Allen was able to come up and the lights never got too bright for him. The lights have seemingly not gotten too bright for him. But Carson Wentz, I'd argue part of it was the pressure in Philly and the lights and everything. It started becoming too much with Nick Foles winning a Super Bowl. Who knows if Zach Wilson would be that would be a question I would have. Well, does he have that ultimate self-belief to be successful if things go bad initially or if he has a couple of rough games?
And what I like to do with quarterbacks is like try to ask like what is the projection here? Best case, who is this guy? Or realistically, who is this guy going to be? And to me, like what I've heard is Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers, some serious comparisons.
Right.
And that's fair physically. I see it. But it's not just a physical position. It's a lot about your experience and your reps and your team and your competition and all that stuff. And all I know is Deshaun Watson played against the best competition in college. Aaron Rodgers, I was there for that. I'll never forget how well he played against SC twice. He might have beat him once. And the second time. So, I mean, he was proving against NFL defensive players. And he was throwing to dudes. Like, I remember his wide receiver his top wide receiver at Cal was Burl Toller, who went to my high school and is now the wide receiver coach at Cal. Like, he wasn't throwing to NFL wide receivers, but he was dicing up the Pac-12, which had USC, which was a national powerhouse at that time. I wish I could see Zach Wilson do something like that. I wish I could. I'm not saying he can't. I just wish I could see it.
For me, Aaron Rodgers is just it's that comparison needs to be thrown out. The Aaron Rodgers is one of one for me, and the way he doesn't have the arm Aaron Rodgers has. He has a great arm, but nobody spins the ball that tight, throws that hard with that level of control and accuracy. He's Aaron Rodgers for a reason.
No one does it. No, and I think what the before we move off, the defining characteristic for Wilson is his wheels. He's super quick, and then all the off-platform throws he can make off of that are nice too. But when you compare him, it's like I look at his wheels first, and that's why I think Watson is a good comp.
Yeah,
he is the small school version of Watson. And finally, the only question I have is if you're trading up for Wilson because you trust his traits, can he start right away, or is the speed of the game going to be a little bit of a shock to him? It seems like he could start right away, but is he ready to win right away? Maybe not.
Yeah, and the other thing for me is he's got a lot of moxie and confidence now, right? And we love that, right? We love just the confidence he has. And it just comes back to, well, the NFL is very unforgiving, and a lot of guys lose their confidence. And I'd argue that a lot of guys who have the talent, the reason they don't make it all the way is because they don't have that unnerving self-belief that other guys have. So, well, he's not been faced that he hasn't faced national spotlight adversity yet. And how will he respond to that is a question that you and I can't answer, certainly. And you would have to talk to him and meet him and know what kind of person he is to actually know that.
Now, it's interesting. Like, I keep wanting to move off of him, but with Derek Carr, he had a great career at Fresno State, similar competition, and then had the one bowl game against USC, which was an unfair competition. I mean, he's going up against a team that's way better than his team. Didn't play well, fell to the second round. And I think people in retrospect weighted that one game too much. So maybe with Zach Wilson, you just got to trust the traits and then get to know him. You know, get to know, is he smart? What kind of character does he have? Because he's not Josh Allen in terms physically, but his resume isn't much different. I mean,
it's funny. It's funny. You bring up Derek Carr. That's the comp, not Deshaun Watson. Derek Carr.
I think he's better than Derek Carr too. I think he's more aggressive. I think he's faster.
Yeah, but with Derek Carr, I don't think people realize how gifted he is.
No, he's very
Derek Carr really has everything you would look for to be a superstar quarterback.
And final point is, I don't think the Niners are going to get Zach Wilson. I think he's going to go.
Yeah, me too. I think he's going to go too early.